Oh boy, I'm starting to get the vibes, man. Halford and Brough in the Morning is always one of the more interesting shows on Sportsnet 650, because both of these guys, Halford and Brough, from their days on TSN to the work that they do with 650 right now, they've always been one of the more prominent voices in this Vancouver market when it comes to radio, analyzing the team, breaking down what's going on, giving their opinions about it. And I get it, there's market sentiment about who's positive, who's negative, which shows and podcasts out there are more favorable towards the team and which ones are more critical. There's a lot of variance out there, different strokes for different folks, right? But I wanted to dive into some comments made by Jason Brough earlier today on Halford and Brough that, in a way, kind of describe what happened with the Vancouver Canucks and JT Miller. It's all speculation here, but reading the tea leaves, using all the information we have had presented to us, and trying to form a narrative here. So this show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there, check out that first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel in the process. This is what Brough said earlier this morning on the show. He was talking about JT Miller. I think JT Miller lost the room. I think ultimately Hughes and maybe a few other guys felt like, all right, JT, you're going a bit far with this stuff. I think there might have been a blow-up with the coaching staff as well that really seal his fate. And I just want to let that idea breathe for a little bit. Because I know one of the main instinctual responses you'll see from Canucks fans in particular, especially in the reply section to this Taj tweet, is this. These guys have been crapping on PD nonstop for months, and all of a sudden they start sharing these little nuggets of information. Like, what the hell, guys? I think there's a certain market sentiment that has prevailed here the past few months throughout the 24-25 season that's a lot more confrontational than it needs to be. There are folks that are pro-Pettersson, or pro-Miller, or pro-Tocchet, anti-Tocchet, and it's been kind of coming into its own the past little while here, especially since all the Pettersson and Miller drama had unfolded. Oh, Miller is a bully and Pettersson is a baby, and like, it wasn't a problem last year because the team could score and now they don't score, and now everybody's pointing fingers and saying who's wrong and we should trade both of them, trade Miller, and everything goes down the way it goes down in this market. I don't want to say that Halford and Brough are immune to that sort of discourse either. I mean, the show has been very opinionated about Elias Pettersson the past few months, and rightfully so. He was playing like crap. But hearing a lot of this stuff going out now, where you hear what things might have led to what happened, it really starts to illuminate more of the inner workings of how these Canucks players think, and just where their overall mindset is, because I think it goes without saying, a lot of what's been discussed now with JT Miller and how Pettersson is sort of getting back to where he is and he's making progress and stuff, a lot of this boils down to Quinn Hughes' comments after the Calgary game, where Quinn essentially said, yeah, Petey's been taking a bunch of crap this year. We need him to be good. We know he can be good. He was good today. That's what we need out of him. For him to support Elias Pettersson so openly in the way that he did, it comes at a very interesting time, because of course this is now the time when Pettersson's playing well, but it also comes shortly after he called himself out. Pettersson spoke to the media. He, in a way, apologized for the Ian McIntyre comments that he made. He was a big villain in Vancouver just a few weeks ago because of the contract that he's got and because of the lack of production and the lack of accountability. All it takes is one press conference for him to go out there and spin it away, say, hey, I'm sucking right now. I need to be better. I know I can be better. I'm going to answer all your questions honestly, and I'm going to take back the media comments that I made. Okay, he did kind of joke around about the media being annoying some days, but it was kind of a joke, so it's okay. And then he goes out there and starts playing well. One-time ripper against the Minnesota Wild. Long shot snipe against the... Who the hell did he score that goal against? Montreal, that's what it was. And then the goal and the assist against Calgary and the shootout goal too. He has been great. And he's been looking confident, too. There are good vibes here. He was asked about Quinn Hughes. Hey, Quinn's not fully healthy, but Quinn's playing. What do you think of that? Petey's like, yeah, that's my captain right there. Oh, captain, my captain. And with Friedman going out there and saying earlier on Fan 590 that he thought that Hughes was Team Petey the whole time, this is where we kind of get into more of the unraveling context of the Vancouver Canucks behind the scenes. Friedman also said this earlier this morning about Elias Pettersson and JT Miller on the 32 Thoughts podcast. I think Hughes really backed Pettersson. He knew the fan base was split on this, but he felt very strongly that EP could still have a big impact for the Canucks. He believed this was a move they had to make. He believed in the long run, everyone would be better off. And it's interesting because they were talking about this on Halford and Brough yesterday, Thursday morning. Charlie Allnut has a pretty nice tweet that kind of encapsulates the main idea. Whatever Hughes thinks is okay by me. You can trust this dude. He is honesty vibes all day long. They spoke about this exact idea on Halford and Brough yesterday, how one of the main narratives on the Canucks was, hey, they have to keep this team together, they gotta be competitive, they gotta show Quinn Hughes that they're worthy of being a team you can stick with, so that Quinn Hughes doesn't decide to leave to New Jersey in free agency in a few years. And for most of this season, one of the main ideas was, hey, Miller and Pettersson, these guys are beefing and they're not playing well and the team is not playing well and Quinn Hughes is the only guy who's playing well, so is he going to want to stick around for that? If these guys, these top guys, the top forwards on the team cannot work out their issues, is Quinn gonna be okay with that environment? Oh, you should trade Miller because he's a toxic whatever. You should trade Pettersson because he's not producing and he's $11.6 million expensive. Is Quinn gonna be okay with that? Is Quinn gonna be okay with that? Is Quinn gonna be okay with that? That was the main idea. It has to all be to show Quinn Hughes that this team can still be competitive. And now, learning that behind the scenes, Quinn was a lot more Elias Pettersson than he was JT Miller. It seems like he was siding a lot more with Petey. And all of a sudden now, for Canucks fans, and even the folks on Halford and Brough themselves, they were saying, if Quinn Hughes is the main priority here, would it not be more appropriate to do what it is that he wants? If he was one of the guys behind the scenes that was really campaigning, yeah, we can keep Petey, this guy's good, he'll be good again, we just gotta get him going. If Quinn Hughes fully believes that Elias Pettersson is that guy, and that he can be that guy, then you keep the guy. That's it. Not only is it you try to build a team around Quinn Hughes that shows to Quinn Hughes that you know what it takes to be competitive and you can build this solid team that can compete for a cup, but you also do what Quinn Hughes wants. If Quinn Hughes felt that JT might have taken it too far, and he was more on the side of letting Elias Pettersson work through it and become better his own way, and then you trade Petey away and you kept Miller, would that not have pissed off Quinn Hughes even more? So for Brough to say, like, maybe Hughes and a few other guys were already thinking that Miller's taking it a bit too far, and then he might have had a blown up with the coaching staff that sealed his fate, that's what I'm using with the Saw reference, man. Sealed his fate. He's like that guy. The Princess Bride guy in the bathroom, who gets locked into this disgusting, greasy, backrooms bathroom kind of thing, with a key that'll never be found because it went down the drain. Spoiler alert for Saw. Feels like JT really sealed his fate with just how controlling he was in this situation. Again, I'm not in the room. I don't know anything about this personally. I'm just reading the tea leaves. I'm just taking a look at what other people are saying. Reading what the analysts are going out there and talking about on the airwaves and making my own educated guesses. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on how JT Miller sealed his fate with the Canucks, with Quinn Hughes and with Elias Pettersson? Maybe he was a little bit too harsh on Petey. There's a chance that Quinn was feeling, hey, JT, you got to dial it back. That's not right. And then maybe there was a blow up at the coaching staff, which ultimately did decide everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.